Nobody in the AI education space will actually tell you how they built their business, because if they did, you could do it too. And that terrifies them. That cannot be me. So I am going to ungatekeep the exact path that I took from knowing AI really well to creating a multi-six-figure AI education business, solo, no team, no investor, no co-founder, just me, Claude, ChatGPT, and a sequence that almost nobody is talking about. And I'm going to be honest with you right now, in a way that most people are not, because the internet is full of people making this sound easy to make money with AI. It's not necessarily easy, but it is simple. And simple is something I can actually give you. If you don't know me, I'm Brooke. I own Wright. I'm an AI educator, and I have an incredible community of women in my membership. I've trained over 50,000 business owners across my channels. I've been on stages with Microsoft, HubSpot, and Canva. And I've grown my socials to over 60,000 followers across my channels in about a year, as well as making multi-six figures with zero team. And I started with nothing. I had 158 followers last year. All I had was the ability to learn AI and a willingness to show up before I felt ready. So here's the exact path in order, because the order is everything. And there is one thing I did at the very beginning that just felt like it was wrong, that I almost didn't do it. And that thing is actually the entire foundation of everything that I've built today. So stay with me, because if you skip this part, nothing else in the video is going to work. Okay, so first, let's talk about what is actually happening right now, because the opportunity in AI education is genuinely unlike anything I have ever seen. Everyone is hearing about Claude, everyone is trying to figure it out. Business owners, founders, corporate teams, freelancers, they all know they should be using AI, but they don't know where to start. Most of them have no idea. They're opening this stuff for the first time. And here's the gap. 99% of AI education content out there isn't speaking to these people. Nobody is teaching it in plain English. Nobody is making it feel accessible for the woman running her service business who just wants to get back her time. Nobody is sitting down with a business owner and saying, here's exactly where AI fits in your business, not in theory, right now. And that gap is a business, a very profitable business. And you don't need a massive audience. I didn't have a massive audience when I started. You just need to know Claude better than the person sitting across from you. That's it. That's the entire qualification. Okay, so let's talk about it, how this actually makes money. Because AI education is not one income stream. It is four, and they stack. So income stream one, workshops and speaking. This is where you start. Free workshops to build trust and proof. Paid workshops once you have that proof. Speaking gigs once people know your name. I've been on stages with Microsoft, HubSpot, and Canva, and that didn't happen because I had a big audience. In fact, I had less than 2,000 followers at that time. It happened because I had a clear point of view, I showed up consistently, and I became the person that everyone thought of when they thought, oh, AI education. Income stream number two is AI consulting, and this is your fastest path to real money. One client, one 60 to 90 minute session, you show them exactly how to use Claude in their specific business. That is worth minimum $500 an hour, probably more, definitely more, because you're not selling your time, you're selling back hours of theirs. This is giving them a fast track to learning AI. And income You get to show them where AI fits in their business and they start to feel less overwhelmed. Income stream number 3 is content. So this is the long game that makes everything else compound. Every workshop insight becomes a reel, every client problem becomes a video. Every time you figure out something new in Claude, you share it, build in public. 60,000 followers didn't happen overnight, but they happened because I showed up consistently in a very specific niche, Claude and AI for women in business without the overwhelm. That niche is mine because I claimed it. Income stream number 4, membership. And this is where the business starts to scale. But I cannot stress this enough. This is not where you start. You build this last. After the trust is there, after the audience is there, after people are already asking, is there another way that I can continue to keep learning from you? Wright Mode, my membership, exists because my community and audience asks for it, not because I decided to launch it. That's the difference between a membership that thrives and one that dies within month 3, because it takes the same amount of work to run a membership for 5 members as it does for 50. Mine is up to about 200 and it is the same amount of work. But because I have the volume, it pays me very, very well now. It didn't at 5 members, that's for sure. Okay, so here's the part that I'm actually ungatekeeping. This is the exact sequence I'd follow if I was starting from 0 today. So weeks 1 and 2, pick one thing that you can do in Claude that saves a business owner time or makes them money. Not 5 things, just one thing. For me, it was AI systems for women founders drowning in admin, ops, content. What's yours? I want you to write that down. Everything builds from that answer. Now, weeks 3 and 4, I want you to run a workshop on that one thing. So it could even be how to set up your custom instructions and get connectors in Claude. It doesn't have to be complicated. We're in a bubble and there are so many people who don't even know that. I want you to post about it on LinkedIn, Instagram, reach out to people that you know too. That is how I got my first people in my workshops. I literally asked them to come. Then show up and teach everything. Hold nothing back. Don't overwhelm them, but give loads of value. You want people to walk away with 1 to 3 tangible things, like setting up your custom instructions, getting your connectors set up. That's it. Then afterwards, what I want you to do is follow up with those people in an email asking. Then what I want you to do is at the end of the workshop, tell people how they can work with you. And then you're going to follow up in an email and say, hey, this is how you can work with me if you want more of this. And I can guarantee you that someone will say yes. Like, can you help me set this up? I want to learn more from you. That person is your first client. Plus, you've built your email list from getting signups to that workshop. Okay, so month 2, I want you to run this workshop again. Keep it simple. You can repeat this workshop, get more people in, do that same thing. And while you're doing this, you can also let people know that you do consulting and that is how they can work with you further. Consulting pays really, really well. It's not necessarily scalable, but if you are trying to make money fast and you want to be paid well, then consulting is an excellent choice. And once you've started consulting, you can get client testimonials, case studies, and it's there. Then it's heaps easier to get more work. Now, while you're doing this, what I want you to do is just be posting content on socials. Pick one platform, could be LinkedIn, could be Instagram, TikTok, doesn't matter where. Just pick one and get good at that platform. That's what I did. For me, it was Instagram, but I used a tool called Blotato at that time with N8N, now in Claude Code, to post it out to all of the other channels. Again, this comes back to when someone thinks about learning AI, we want them to think about you. Okay, so we're at month 3. What I want you to do is document everything, every client win, everything you're building, and create content around that. Just stay consistent. It doesn't matter which platform. I want you to pick some creators that you trust, steal their hooks and frameworks that are working, and then put your content behind it. I was doing this for 12 months before anything actually started really working. And once I did, my business just grew exponentially. I felt like I was speaking into the void for most of those 12 months, except I was still getting really good quality clients coming through from TikTok, from LinkedIn, from Instagram. It wasn't at the scale that it is now. I want you to trust that compound effect, because here's what nobody will tell you about building an audience. It really does feel like nothing is working right up until the moment it does. So you just cannot quit. And then it does all at once. I went from posting to nobody, essentially, to 60,000 followers and a multi-six-figure business. Not because I went viral, but because I showed up in the same corner of the internet consistently for long enough that the right people found me. And then when I did go viral, oh my gosh, everything just started working so much more easily. And here's the part that is actually ungatekeeping, what I do differently, because I made mistakes and I want you to skip them. So mistake number one, I waited too long to charge properly. So I ran free workshops every 6 weeks, which were great for building my list and audience, but I undercharged myself because I wasn't backing myself. I was charging, I think, $280 at the start. Then I jumped up to $400, and then $1,200. And I should have started charging consulting fees at that $1,200 rate when I first started. That is nowhere near my consulting rate now, but it was like a decent starting point. And this 100% came down to the fact that I didn't back myself. If I was starting again, I would charge that rate sooner. Not because the money matters more. I mean, that is nice to have, but it tells your client what you do has value. So we want to signal that value. And I can guarantee you do provide so much value. So mistake number two was that I didn't copy proven viral formats when creating content. So I had people telling me to do this. Sabrina Ramanov told me to do this. And I took her advice of posting 3 times a day and not quitting, but there was this real mental block with that. As soon as I started using viral hooks and content strategies that actually work, everything got so much easier because my content started performing, and then my audience grew, which meant that things just got easier. Yes, I had good offers set up, so people knew kind of where to go once they found me, but it's all well and good to have that set up. If no one can find you, you're not going to make any money. So use proven viral formats. In my membership, I actually have a tool where you can recreate content, talk about what you want, but use those proven viral strategies. I'll drop the link to the membership below. Also being really clear about who I was talking to. So for me, I always end all of my videos with like, follow me for more AI tips without the overwhelm, because that's the whole thing. I want this stuff to feel less overwhelming for people. Mistake number 3 would be trying to do too many things all at once. So I'm definitely guilty of this still. But when you're first starting out, especially if you start with workshops, just give people one thing to do afterwards, as in one way to work with you. If you have like 5 different ways for people to work with you, guess what? They're going to be overwhelmed and they're not going to choose any of them. Give them one path. You can downsell people behind the scenes later, but just give people one offer to go to. That's it. So here's the full ungatekept path. 1, pick one thing, one problem, one person. 2, run a free workshop. Let people experience you and learn about you. Do you know how much easier it is for someone to want to buy from you after spending 45 minutes with you versus how many reels would they have to consume to get to know you that well? 3, land your first paying client. Do that either through workshops or consulting. Number 4, document everything, turn it into content. Show up consistently, do not quit. And then 5, once you've got an audience, then you can build a membership. Only once you have trust and audience. It's not that complicated, but it requires you to start before you feel ready. It requires you to charge before you feel qualified, and it requires you to show up before anyone is watching. The AI education opportunity right now is insane. It is real, I promise you. The gap in the market is real, and you already know Claude better than most business owners ever will, and you are more ready than you think you are. The only question is whether you're going to do something with it. And if you want to build this alongside women who are doing exactly the same thing, come and join us in the Wright Mode community. It is my favorite place on the internet. It's my AI implementation community for women founders. We've got fortnightly live co-work Q&A sessions with me. You get access to me, monthly live Build with Brooke sessions. Every system, template, and resource I use to run a multi-six-figure business by myself is in there. It's not a course that you buy and forget. It's the place where you actually build with AI and get support doing it. So link is in the description. Come and find me in there. And if this has helped, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.